Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Horror Room. So, this week I thought we would take a look at the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Freddy Krueger has kind of been one of those icons that people love, but he can be pretty goofy sometimes. And there's a lot of discussion on, like, what movie is the worst version of Freddy. And I think I figured it out. We're going to go film to film, and I'm going to let you know. We're going to include some bonus stuff, too. Um, like this little guy, this little pull string Freddy, um, that barely works. So let's see what he has to say. Okay. Yep, Freddy's back. Okay. So yeah, this thing sounds like crap. Um, but when it came to the movies, I basically wanted to take a look at not only how he looks, but how he acts, like the kills and stuff, and determine if they're actually any good film to film. And some of these might surprise you, but again, these are my opinions. So if you want to make a list down below and let me know what your favorite Freddy is, I'd be more than happy to read it. So first off, in the very first movie, um, Freddy gets a couple good lines in there. He's not throwing one-liners out like he does in the later films. Um, but when Tina's having her dream and she goes, "Oh God," and he goes, "This is God." Like that's a pretty cool moment. Other than that, Freddy is kind of clumsy in this movie. Later, when Nancy pulls him out of the dream world into her house, and she's got the whole Home Alone booby traps everywhere. Um, it always makes me laugh when I see him get hit with a sledgehammer because I think of Johnny Knoxville. The first time he was on Jackass, he got hit with a sledgehammer. So it's kind of funny. This Freddy, in my opinion, is kind of weak, but he's okay for the most part. Then we have part two. Part two, when it comes to the makeup look, um, he looks great. They took what was good about the first movie and they improved it. You get some really cool close up shots of him, and he looks like super evil. He's got more iconic lines in there, like the "You've got the body, I've got the brain" line. Now, he does look a little bad later on when he's coming out of Jesse's body in the room. Uh, I think that just might have been like what they could do practically, because part of it's like a puppet or like a head, just a head, and then it is Robert England coming out. Um, Later on, though, when he comes out of the dream world and he's at the pool party, he does look a little silly running around like, ah. But he is pretty aggressive. He's just slashing people left and right. He drops a cuss word in this movie that is not bitch. He says, help yourself, fucker. So that's kind of funny. Um, so I thought this version of Freddy in part two is pretty good. Then we have three. What do we even need to talk about? Three is perfection, peak Freddy, equal parts funny, equal parts scary. He's got the iconic "Welcome to Primetime, bitch." The best Freddy right there. But we're not looking for the best. We're looking for the worst. So these first three don't meet the criteria. Now, as we go along, um, then we get to part four, which is the Dream Master, because three was Dream Warrior. Um, the beach dream with what's her name? Not Alice. It's the chick from the third movie. I can't remember, but the chick from the third movie is in four. It's not the same actress, um, but she has like a dream where she's on the beach and Freddy comes to her as like doing the Jaws thing. It's like you get that dumb shot of him looking up at the camera with his sunglasses. Ah ha ha ha. Um, a lot of kills in this movie are just more goofy than they are good. Like the wanna suck face in class where he sucks the air out of her, and she's like has an asthma attack and her inhaler's not working or they can't find it. Um, you got the karate fight, which to me is probably the worst moment in the entire franchise. Um, I also really don't like the going in circles dream section. To me, that just feels like Freddy's being kind of lazy. Um, so yeah, all in all, most of the stuff that Freddy's doing in this movie is kind of lame. So and I don't know. Part four, Freddy's kind of looking like he might be the worst, right? Um, then we get to part five. We have Freddy as a baby, which looks very bad. Like he's so ugly. And you got that horrible line where he comes back to life. He goes, "It's a boy." Like, oh gosh. And also from some shots, I don't know if it was just the lighting, but it looks like they have him wearing eyeshadow to cover up the fact that he's wearing a mask. But it just makes it stick out a little bit more. Um, this is the movie where they introduced Amanda Krueger, which is Freddy Krueger's mom. And of course, when he sees her, he hisses at her, as a good son would. You do have some cool body horror in this movie when he kills Dan. And Dan's like riding on his motorcycle and he like morphs the motorcycle with him. That's pretty cool. That's like a creative, freaky kill from Freddy. Um, we don't talk about Super Freddy though. That's probably the dumbest death. I mean, it's creative, yeah, I'll give you that. And oh, it's in a dream. But Freddy is this super schlocky. He looks awful. Super Freddy's like, I don't know, roided out. Um, but yeah, the mask and the makeup effects, they do look worse in this movie, especially in like the close-up shots. I noticed some more near the end, especially when the souls are dragging Freddy back to Amanda Krueger so she can, you know, do her body meld thing with little baby Freddy. Um, so all in all, part five is not good. So 4 and 5 are kind of in the running. Um, then we have part 6, the eye holes. I noticed this right away, early on in the film. The eye holes on his mask are huge. Like, it's super noticeable this time around that they're using a mostly mask prosthetic. Um, then we have Witch Freddy, which is making fun of like Wizard of Oz. Very goofy, very lame. Like, if that's Freddy's attempt to be scary, like, I don't know. It's not working for me. Um, Now you got Carlos's death scene in this movie, which is awesome. The kid with the hearing aid, and I mean it's goofy with the pins and the scraping of the chalkboard, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty awesome, and he makes his head explode, which is awesome. Um, yeah, and then we have Spencer's death, which is the stoner kid. Um, his death is like equal parts stupid and equal parts awesome. You got the cartoon sound effects while he's literally bouncing all around the house. And you got Freddy playing a video game version of Spencer and his dad fighting, and then Freddy. They forgot about the power glove. Oh, it's so bad, but it is pretty awesome to see Freddy, doing some crappy gaming stuff. I think he has like an Atari controller before he plugs in the power glove. Um, the special effects in this movie, though, aside from some of the kills and how cool those are, some of the effects, especially when we go into the dream world, when you're supposed to put on the 3D glasses and you see the dream spermy things flying all around, it's really bad. But we do get iconic speech from Freddy about, first they tried burying me or burning me. Um, so it has some good like moments, but Freddy himself in the movie is pretty flawed. And I'm not including like his backstory stuff. I think that section of the movie is kind of good. Um, but we're talking about Freddy Krueger, like not Fredward Krueger before, because I mean, obviously he'd be the worst one because he was a child killer, or in case of the remake, a little further. Um, New Nightmare has some interesting ideas, but the mask or whatever the makeup they use for Freddy, it looks rubbery. Like only in some good lighting or the dark, it looks sort of realistic. But then you get into the hospital scene, and it's just too bright on the mask, and it looks like off-putting. He's also got that weird bone glove, which some people think is cool. I don't know. It I don't know. Doesn't seem as threatening as like the regular glove. Um, you have the trench coat, which is a weird addition to Freddy. It's like don't come to Elm Street tomorrow. Yeah, so some good, interesting ideas in that movie. Like when they give Freddy the like demon transformation, it's kind of okay. The effects are not okay. Um, but not the greatest Freddy. Then we had the fun one, the fun Uncle Freddy from Freddy versus Jason. Um, he doesn't look terrible. I think this is one of the better makeup looks they did on Robert Englund in a while. He's equal parts funny, and he does some good kills. Um, Fighting Jason is the main thing in the movie, so it's not really about his kills. But as far as his character goes, he stays in character, even if some of that character is a little racist, maybe, because like he's oh sweet dark meat. It's like oh ooh Freddy. Yee. Um, so yeah, I like that one. So that one's obviously not going to be the pick for the worst. Then we have the remake. A lot of people swear that the remake is the worst one. I will admit the remake has a lot of CGI that sticks out. But when he wants to, like he looks pretty ominous. He's got some serious creepy lines in that movie. Like the why are you screaming? I haven't even cut you yet. Like that's dark. That's some good evil Freddy right there. Um, the only thing that kind of drops it down to zero is instead of just being a child murderer, they decide that Freddy is an exclusive member to, you know, the fun club, or I don't know, whatever you'd call it. Well, I mean, whatever he would call it, probably. Not so much fun. Pretty bad. But yeah. So Freddy is a diddler, and it's not good. It's not good. Um, so then we have the new, or Freddy's Nightmares TV show, which Freddy's hardly ever in it. Like he'll pop up from time to time to like do something to someone's dream or do something to someone in their dream. But literally, he just comes in and says a dumb one-liner, like, and then he's gone. And everything in that show is like toned down for TV because back then you couldn't get away with showing so much. Even the first episode where they kind of reveal like they know that Freddy's been killing kids and they have the trial. It's interesting to see, but it's like why couldn't the whole series be interesting like this? That'd be a better show than Freddy running around pretending to terrorize different people. Like I don't know. Um, then we have something that I wasn't going to include, but I decided to anyways. The Goldbergs episode where Freddy shows up, and wow, Freddy is like I get it. The Robert Englund is very old now, but they shouldn't have brought him back physically. Maybe like done something to where it was like you hear Freddy's voice and maybe see a shadow. That could have been a little more tasteful. But they bring Freddy back, and Freddy he looks tired. He looks sweaty. He looks like he ain't chasing you in your dreams. He's gonna sit down and wait for you to lap around. Scary Terry from Rick and Morty is more scary than this version of Freddy. Sharp Hand Joe is scarier. So yeah, it's kind of a joke. I mean, it's a TV show, a comedy TV show. I do think the part where she opens her closet and sees all the sweaters, and he says, "Oh, you got good taste." Like, haha, kind of funny. But they really played Freddy a little out of character. But yeah. So we have the remake Freddy. That one's pretty bad. We have the TV show Freddy, who's hardly even in his own show. The Goldberg's episode, he looks out of shape and bad. It would be way too easy to choose one of those. I really kind of think part 4, Nightmare or Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master, I think has the worst Freddy because, like, you know, he's supposed to be killing off these kids, and Alice, I think is the, yeah, Alice gets their powers and, you know, goes to fight Freddy, and it's, I don't know, just compared to the previous movie, Dream Warriors, this movie sucks. The only thing cool about it is the ending, where, where Freddy has all the souls in him and they start coming out and, like, pulling him to pieces. That part's pretty awesome. The effects, but we're not here to talk about the effects. We're here to talk about Freddy. And Freddy, he's a joke. He's a joke in that movie. His kills are pretty bad. The one-liners, I mean, I think this is where they started overusing the bitch one-liners. So yeah, what can we say except, you know, Freddy's cool, but, you know, just like all the other slashers, he has his moments, and I think for me personally, at least, part 4 is the one that I'm, you know, least into when it comes to Freddy and how he acts, what he does. So that's really all I gotta say. But before we go, do you got anything to add, Freddy Jr.? Okay. Well, I'm sure none of you understood that, but hey, it is what it is. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.